Welcome back. We're on Learn HTML Forms by building a registration form on freeCodeCamp, and we're on step 41 now. So the HTML for registration form is finished. You can now spruce it up a bit. So now we're going to be doing some CSS, because as you can see, the default form doesn't look too bad, but it doesn't look too great as well. There's a lot we can do with that. So let's change the font to Tahoma and the font size to 16 pixels in the body. So I believe it's font family. Let's check that. They haven't sort of specified size 16 pixels. And yeah, I believe that's looking already a lot better. So now we want to center the H1 and P elements by giving them a margin. So we're going to do H1 and P there, so comma P. And we'll give them a margin of M auto. And text align, will be center, like so. And there we go. So the H1 and the P tag are centered and have some margin top and bottom. So step 43, center the form element by giving it a margin of 0 in auto. So margin 0 auto. And a max dash width of 500 pixels and a minimum width, min width of 300 pixels. And then we just want to give it a width of 60 VW, which I think is it viewport width? So there we go. We can see that there. Cool. So step 44, during development, it is useful to see the field set default borders. However, they make the content appear too separated. So remove the border. So we can do field set like so. Just going to target them as this. So border will be none. And padding will be 2M top and bottom. So that would be 0 left and right, like so. And cool. So step 45, to give the field set elements a bit of separation, select them and give them a border bottom of, well, 3 pixels solid and then the color. So we'll do border dash bottom, and there we go. And you can see here we've got the border between each of them now. Perfect, flying through. Step 46, the border of the last field set element looks a bit out of place. So as you can see here, you can select the last element with a specific type using the last of type CSS pseudo class, like so. That will select the last P element. So we want to create a new selector that targets the last field set. So field set, and we want to set the last of type. So this is the last field set, border dash bottom, and set it to none, because generally you don't want a border after the last item, and obviously before the first as well. So there we go. So step 47, it would be nicer to have the label text appear above the form elements. So select all input text area and select and make them full width. So that will be width 100%. There we go. And then we want a margin of 10px top and bottom, and then just to the 10, and then 0 for the rest. So we could do that. We could also just do explicitly have a margin top of 10 pixels, but it looks like that's passed anyway. So for the second field set, you want the input and label text to appear on the same line. Start by giving input elements in the second field set a class of inline. So these input elements here, I'm going to give them is that all of them? Is it just those 3? Yeah, so class equals, and go back 1, inline, like so. And let's check that code. Perfect. So select only the inline element. So we'll do dot inline to select the classes that we just created. Give them a width of unset. And this will remove that previous full width, and sorry, it's these ones here. And then yeah, so basically that's, previously they had a width of 100%. If I comment that out, and we can see, you know, everything's kind of unaligned, but we just want the width to be unset, and now they're still inline. Nice. And finally for this one, step 50, add some space between the .inline elements, so the class inline, and the label text. So we just want to give it a margin right of 0. So again, you probably could just do explicit margin right, but they will probably want us to use the just the margin property. So first one is 0, top, so top, right, which is this value, bottom and left. So if you remember that, that's how it's been applied when it's the 4 values on just the main property. Obviously, as I said, we could just do margin right and that would work as well. So check that. Top, right, bottom, left. Okay, so it looks like we can actually just do margin dash right, and it was because it was 0.5 m, not rem, but let's do that. So I normally work with rem or other units, but yeah, it looks like they do actually want us to use that. So let's do top, right, bottom, left, like so. There we go, that passes. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.